There we go. Okay.
Sounds familiar.
Welcome back to another episode of the Natty and Not podcast. Here with me today, I have the legendary roidfluencer, best in the game, TOGI Stauffer. TOGI, you want to give us a little bit of an update about just a quick summary of like everything that's happened since we had our last podcast? Because you've been all over the place.
Yeah, it's been a lot, but thank you for having me back. I'm excited about this.
Of course.
But it's been about 3 months maybe since we did a podcast. I don't know. So I kind of forget where we were at when we did the first podcast, but I was just getting started on social media, like a few months in. And since then, I completely conquered roid TikTok. Everybody knows. I call it the TOGI effect. Like at first, it was just like my edits that I'm making, but the edits, everyone loved the edits so much. Now all of a sudden, like I don't post them really anymore, but you see hundreds of videos a day of people taking steroids and then like working out all crazy. So I think it's funny. I think it's awesome. So my Instagram got banned, unfortunately.
Yeah, what happened with that? I was trying to find your account for so long, and I was like, where the hell did he go?
I honestly do not know what happened. So there's a lot of politics behind, Instagram accounts and everything. And I don't want to get into it too much, but basically, my account, somebody paid. We have, a few suspicions of who it was, but somebody paid to get my account taken down. And my account was an easy target because there is a lot of graphic stuff on there. So they, I don't know exactly how they did it, but since a lot of stuff on my account is like, what happened is it got taken down for self-harm.
Okay.
But then I don't understand what happened after that because it got taken down and then I got the account back. But when I logged in, the username was changed and the profile picture was Pikachu. And then I got kicked out again. So it seems like the account was hacked. I don't know exactly how that happened, but now I have my buddy working on it again as a hacked account. So I'm not hopeful. I don't think the account's ever going to be back. But it might come back. Who knows? But we don't, Instagram, it was just a phase one. Well, phase one was go viral on TikTok. Phase two was, Instagram. Everyone knows the gear edits. And it's kind of like I've done that phase of my influencing journey. I know a lot of people want me to keep making the edits. And then a few edits might come back here and there. But for the most part, me posting myself taking steroids on the internet every single day is coming to an end.
I'm so intrigued. Okay, so with the account getting taken down, are you allowed to talk about like who you think it is? Is it like a business thing where another business is like trying to get you off of the map, or is it a person that hates you? Is it a group of people who hate you? Like, can you expand on that at all?
It's a business thing, but I can't talk about. I don't want to cause any more bad blood than there already is, right?
Interesting.
But a business thing, yeah.
Okay, more on the business side of things. Okay, and so you went viral on there, got deleted. You also went to Cabo, correct? Mm-hmm. Got absolutely smashed, 7-day bender, it looked like. And then right after that, came back here for a little while. We saw each other. Yeah. And then you went down to Miami. And hung out with a bunch of other influencers down there. Can you walk us through that whole trip? What was the whole experience like?
Well, it was. I left Miami a day early because I was just so fucking ruined from the Cabo bender. And you saw me, like we saw each other at the gym, and I was like,
it was so bad,
barely holding on. Like my voice is shot. Like I can't even open my eyes. And so I was really, really going through it after Cabo. I had 3 days to rest, went to Miami, and it was a great time. Just all the Research M athletes, so mostly was hanging out with David Rao, Nate Udi, the general, Rowan Kardashian, Gabe No Victim, and it was a good time. It was just, I was supposed to film more than I did. We probably filmed like 5% of it, which I wish you guys could have seen, more of what we did because it would have been awesome content. But we ended up just mostly, for the most part, getting hammered the whole time, and you can't really film in the clubs. So I dropped one video on it. You guys can check it out on my YouTube. But it was a good time. I don't have too much to say about it. It was just great to finally get to meet the whole Research M team. Really great group of guys. If you guys aren't familiar with them, definitely go check out their accounts because really phenomenal information and entertainment from the Research M guys.
There you go. Yeah, I remember after you came back from the Cabo trip and I saw you the first time, I like didn't recognize you for a second because you were so dark from the Melanotan.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, he literally, he looks like he's a different race right now.
That's what everyone's like, bro turned Indian. And so do you have me on my like influencer Snapchat?
I don't think I do.
But I was explaining what happened because everyone was like, what went fucking wrong? Like, why do you look so weird? And I was just like, it was this, Cabo was a situation where I was like, wake up, immediately start drinking, immediately take whatever the fuck you bought at the Mexican pharmacies. So I was just intoxicated the whole time. And I misdosed my Melanotan and I accidentally took about 3 times the dose that you're supposed to take. I was at like 1,500 MCGs a day, and I just didn't like. I was just so fucked up the whole time. I didn't know what was happening until the last day. I look at myself in the mirror before I leave, and I was like, I fucked my shit bad. Like something is not right. Like, and my friends were like, bro, like, why are your lips purple? And it's like, I don't know. Like, this is not okay. But we're back. Like, you can see my lips are recovering for sure.
Recovering. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. You're almost back to the original color.
Yeah, we're working on it. But I think that's the probably the end of my Melanotan era. It was a cool experiment to try it.
I always question why guys like you who are already like semi-dark even need to do that. Like, I know so many pale guys who I'm like, you should get on that stuff. But then for you, I don't know. I don't feel like
I didn't need it. I didn't need it at all. But it was like a cool. I was like, okay, this would be like a cool experiment. Like, see what I can make it, and it went horribly wrong.
So the purple lips was from the Melanotan as well.
Yeah, dehydration and Melanotan are 2 causes of the purple lips. Yeah,
that is crazy. Okay, and then when you went to Miami, I have some questions about that as well. You screwed up the Lamborghini rim. Oh my gosh. Wait, did you get a bill for that? Did they come? No. What happened with that whole situation?
Shout out my boss for taking care of that for me, but it was just stupid. I don't know. I like literally I'm driving everyone in the Urus, and right as we're pulling in, and like it's just like street parking. We're going to Canes or whatever, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna make sure to not curb this. 2 seconds later, you're just like, and everyone's like, yo, no, and I was humiliated. I was like, I cannot believe I just fucking. If you guys saw the video, it's on my YouTube. It was scratched bad. I don't even know how much.
It was brutal.
I didn't even ask how much it was. I was just like, I'm so fucking sorry. Like I just.
That's hilarious. Lambo. Oh my gosh, I was cracking up during that video. But I'll be honest. So there was a phase like because I've watched pretty much every single one of your YouTube videos, I think, and I thought they were absolutely hilarious. But then there was. So when I was watching the Cabo trip, I came to like a realization when you went dark for that split second and you came back and you were black and like purple lips inside the camera. There's like a bunch of memes going around about it right now. But I was watching that part and I was like, dude, like I got genuinely worried. Like, cause I was laughing so hard at first. And then I was like, dude, maybe, but this is serious. Like I'm genuinely worried about him for like a split second. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, what if he like died out there? I was genuinely worried.
Well, yeah, because it's like, you know, how the outside of your body looks is a reflection of like what's going on inside. And if I looked that bad on the outside, like I can only imagine what the inside of my body was going through. But also,
did you get your blood work done recently?
Yeah, 2 days like I don't know, like 5 days ago, but I haven't gotten the results back.
Okay, so
fingers crossed that I'm not dying. But we'll find out everything in like the most extensive panel you can get. So I got it all.
Okay, well that's going to be very interesting. And then if this panel comes back good, then you're gonna start your next cycle.
Yeah, pretty big cycle. We're still figuring out everything, but we're gonna be messing around with a lot of new compounds. So like obviously base. Testosterone. I'm gonna push the dose on it, which is I'm a little bit nervous about because even I'm taking 250 test right now, and I still have to take Aromacin because I get like crazy gyno just from 250 test. So running it.
Were you planning on having gyno surgery right around this time?
I was going to do it after this cycle, but then I was talking with my coach about it, and he was like, well, really, it's an easier recovery and surgery process if you have more muscle. I don't know exactly why, but
Interesting.
the bigger you are, the easier it is. So I'm going to do this cycle and then get it done, which it probably worked out for the better because I was just so busy this off cycle.
Off season was well done.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel more comfortable now because at first I was like really like, holy shit, 6 weeks, no gym. How am I ever going to fucking do this? I need to make content. But now I did it this last time I was off cycle. I didn't work out for a month straight. And it was like, no problem. I still made videos and stuff. So I'm feeling much more comfortable with getting the surgery. So definitely doing it after the cycle. But for now, just, I'm going to have to be ton of relaxafine, Aromacin, do whatever I can to keep my estrogen reasonably low. If I bring it too low, like I have to get gyno to like feel good. Because if I drop my estrogen too low where I'm not getting gyno, I just like, I'm moving at 1 mile an hour. I feel like shit all the time. So we're going to just pretty much this cycle, at the end of this cycle, the comments are going to love this. I'm going to be like, the gyno's going to be raging. But then I don't have to worry about it ever again.
Just make it as bad as possible on this.
That could be like a good little like, it would make me go more viral if I just gave myself like raging fucking gyno. How far are you willing to take it to go viral? You give yourself man boobs, you like lactate and shit. But no, I'm not gonna purposely do that. But the gyno will come through. So we're gonna do testosterone like if I can handle it up to 1 gram, but I almost definitely won't be able to handle it. So probably like realistically like 600-700 maybe.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I'm gonna choose between Masteron and Bolderone. How do you pronounce that? I don't know. I think that's it. And I'm not completely sure what I'm gonna do with those, but probably like close to 1-to-1 to the testosterone. And then like gonna mess around with adding like more harsh compounds just kind of for fun. I'm definitely gonna try Tren near the end of the cycle.
This one, huh?
Yeah, just cause, and I'm not gonna do too much because like there's no reason to like really wreck your blood work and kidneys unless you're like a real bodybuilder. But just for like an influencer like myself, you don't really need that. But I just want to know like what's the hype about, I want to know what it's all about. So we're gonna take a little bit of Tren. Another compound I might mess around with, Ment, if you're familiar with that. It's like the only steroid that's legal for research purposes. But that's another really, really toxic one. So it's going to be Tren or Ment. Like we're going to try Tren first. And
Ment. M-E-N-T?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never heard of that.
And then at the end, I'm probably not going to do Anavar this time just because I have so much other stuff that's going to be wrecking my cholesterol.
Yeah. And you just got that back in check, right?
Hopefully. The cholesterol was pretty fucked. Like the reference for HDL, LDL is 0 to 3. I was at 17, which is not good. One of my, Nate Udi, who's telling me one of his clients, his cholesterol was at 80.
Oh my
so that made me feel better. That guy, I hope you're doing better now.
That is pretty wild.
But that made me feel better about the 17, and I think it's back in check now. But I'm probably going to skip out on the Anavar because of that, and then I might mess around with, like, I tried Superdrol last cycle. I do Anadrol this one just to see if it's any different.
There you go. Well, leading into this next question that I have for you, which was also one that was asked by a fan, are you scared of dying?
Yes, I am scared of dying, but I'm also like, how do I explain this? I am very obsessed with my craft and the more you put in, the more you get out. Like you have dedicated 10 years to your education and having an amazing physique. However, I've only dedicated, I'm not willing to wait the 10 years. Like I wish I started when you did. Right. But I'm obsessed with everything that I'm doing, and I'm willing to sacrifice my health to achieve my dreams in efficient fashion. And again, I'm on top of it. Like I'm not out here just like, being an idiot about things. Obviously taking Tren, that's stupid, period. But the degenerate in me is excited about these things, and I get my blood work done. I post a lot on the internet about like how I'm drinking a lot. I do all this shit, but like I'm very on top of my health. Like I take very good care of my body. Obviously, I'm less healthy than someone that doesn't take steroids. Well, that's a pretty big generalization. But I am scared of dying, so I stay on top of my shit. But also, I'm obsessed with winning almost as much as I am scared of dying. If that makes sense.
Yeah, my moment of realization that I had when I was watching your Cabo video, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I find these videos hilarious, but I'm genuinely at this point in time like worried about Shane. I was like thinking about all of the other fitness influencers who have gone down this route that have like a really, really strong cult following. There's like a couple that I can name off of my head, especially like Connor Murphy, like Callum Von Moger. Another one would be like Cali Muscle. Like he was one guy that went off the ramp a while ago. And I actually have another question for you about him. But people that kind of like experiment around with this stuff, they get this cult following of people that almost I feel like almost want to see them crash.
Oh,
like
100%.
in the end. And do you feel like that is slowly becoming like why people are tuning into watching you?
No, I think I would say pretty big like guess here, but I would say 75% of people watch me because they like me and 25% of people watch me because they hate me. Which is a nice ratio. It used to be closer to 50-50, but since I stopped doing the gear edits, where the people are more enthusiastic about me, and it's also the YouTube, like people that watch YouTube videos watch them because like you're opting in to watch a YouTube video, whereas like you're scrolling Instagram and then you see me just fucking like you don't get a choice. Like there it is, you're watching this, so it definitely brings in a lot of haters, but. Most people do, like most of my comments are really supportive, like, hey, make sure to like get your blood work done, or like we want to make sure that you're alive. Like a lot of people are like, make sure to stay alive so we can keep watching your videos, which I am gonna try my best to stay alive. And another thing is that I show like the full, like that half of me that participates in just degenerate shit, not to the degree of some of the people you just named. Like what was the one he like jumped out of a building when he was high on meth or something?
Oh, Callum Von Moger.
Yeah, like I'm not doing shit like that. A lot of people, I think one reason people really enjoy my content is my lifestyle is more common than people realize, and a lot of people can relate to me because most college students live less healthy lifestyles than myself. So just because a lot of people, just because I'm showing it doesn't mean that it's as dangerous as like a lot of people think. A lot of people think it's like, oh my God, this guy's out of his mind. Like he shouldn't be living this life. A lot of people live this life and end up just fine. And a lot of people don't end up fine. But the point is that it's more common than a lot of people expect.
I see what you're saying. And do you see a time period, or do you see this phase of your life coming to an end eventually? One of the questions that somebody had asked was, is TOGI ever going to settle down and get like a wife and kids and get married? Like is there an age that you're planning on basically blasting towards the skies till, and then after that, kind of transitioning?
So I used to like really want to get my pro card. Like I really wanted to do the whole bodybuilding thing. But the more I experience bodybuilding and learn more about it, I don't think it's something that I'm really interested in investing, because it's just such a commitment to your health and your time and your money. So I don't know, and I don't know if it's completely for me. So I honestly, this cycle might be one of my last. I don't plan on blasting gear older than, I'm 21 years old. I don't see myself taking any more cycles after I'm 25. Just TRT
Gotcha.
for the rest of my life. I do plan to see myself, doing the partying, the drinking, the drugs, whatever, for a substantial amount of time, probably until I'm about 25. Like, everything's different for me, and mostly it depends on what my money looks like. But between the ages 25 and 30, I would like to find a wife, settle down, have a family. But between the ages of 21 to 25, it's like anything goes. And hopefully I don't die in the process.
There you go. Okay. All right. So 25 to 30 is going to be your wife and kids era.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And things change. Like every year, my mentality towards life changes so much. Maybe next year, everything is different for me. Like my life just is always changing so dramatically. But as of now, that's like kind of how I envision my future.
Okay. All right. Very, very interesting. Do you think that people... So one thing that's very, very interesting about the internet today is the fact that you can watch people's lives unfold, and a lot of people change their stance on different things like as time goes on. And a lot of people, specifically like in the fitness industry, will be preaching something towards the beginning, or they'll be like promoting something like a certain lifestyle, whatever it is. And then as time goes on, even like you watch their transition to promoting the opposite and moving more like towards something different. And one of the biggest examples of this is Cali Muscle. Like I used to watch him all the time when I was a kid. Do you know who he is? He's this big black muscular guy that used to talk about prison.
I follow him on Instagram, but I don't really know like that much about him.
Okay, yeah. So he used to take like a ton of drugs, and when I was growing up, I thought that he was natural. Like it was, I genuinely thought this guy was natural, and he was huge, like this massive black guy that would always be talking about prison and like working hard and stuff like that, giving you these motivational speeches. And he would tell everybody that he was natural. Very, very clear that he was not natural. I learned that as soon as I got a couple brain cells when it came to the fitness side of things. And now he talks all about how people that take steroids are demonic. Like he's done a complete reverse. Like he went from saying that he was natural, like being in the bodybuilding space surrounded by all this type of stuff while like lying about it and everything. And now he's taking like this religious approach where he's saying all of this is bad. He's saying bodybuilders are demons. They're obsessed with like injecting themselves with poison. And do you think that people who lie about things early on, just because they change their message, do you think that they should be taken as seriously? How are people supposed to be held accountable when it comes to like preaching something and then ultimately switching it up later in life? Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. I think that that's a tough question because obviously nobody's perfect, and a lot of people look at these influencers and have high expectations, like you should be, consistently providing high quality information because you have an impact on the world. But ever since I've gotten more in the fitness space, I'm realizing that, well, first of all, I'm just a regular guy. I'm far, far, far from perfect. So same with a lot of other influencers that I met. It's like, holy shit, these people are completely normal. They're just like all of my other friends that aren't influencers. So that's a hard question because when you can never recover from, like, an example of somebody like D-Trend switches his message entirely.
I was going to bring him up as well.
He's always been honest and providing information of, like, that's true to him at the moment. But when you build a platform off of lying to start, I don't think there's any recovering from that. And it's like, how do I say what I'm trying to say? I guess the point is, yeah, if you start by building a brand off of lies, I don't think your brand, no matter how positive your brand eventually becomes, I don't think there's any credibility behind it. It's the same idea as if, like you're a felon and you've done like whatever, like most extreme example, like if you used to be a rapist, and then you like completely change your ways and are a newborn person, I could still never trust that person or be friends with that person just because of their past. Like your actions your actions stick with you forever, especially on the internet, and especially when your impact is that huge, negatively impacting that many lives based off of lies, and you're making money off of those lies. Like that's just not something that gets rid of all credibility for the rest of time, in my eyes.
Yeah. And how do you think, I feel like the internet does a really, really poor job of holding people accountable to the things that they say because, for example, I think it's becoming a growing problem that's just getting worse and worse. The D-Trend example is actually one that I had written down, just being like, he used to tell people all the time, like, Tren is amazing. Like, do Tren. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, like take Tren, grab some Tren.
You obviously approach the matter and you're like, taking Tren is stupid, but like, I'm going to do it because it's hyped up. But then he would legitimately go on and tell people to use like ridiculous amounts of Tren, praising it as like the most holy compound. And now he's, you know, obviously gone the opposite direction and he promotes being natural and like staying healthy, and he doesn't think you should get involved in it at all. Does it bother you that there is no like lack of accountability when it comes to saying things? It just almost becomes this, just a scream whatever you possibly can to get as much attention. And then once everybody looks your way, like start acting more professional.
It depends. It's a case-to-case thing for me, right? Like D-Tren, when he was telling everyone to take Tren, to a large degree, it was very humorous. He might have been dead serious, but you're looking at him, you can't watch that guy and Grandma Tren and the Johnson. Like, that, obviously, you can't take that and be like, this guy's my new financial advisor. Like, this is who I'm going to listen to. Like, obviously, look at that, because he was never presenting himself in a professional manner, like, that this is good advice. Like, obviously, it was horrible advice, and it was entertaining. That's why it went so viral. And then he realized, you know, he wants to change his message. So in D-Tren's case, I think something like that, I don't see any reason to hold his past above his head too aggressively. Sometimes he is a little bit hypocritical in the things that he says. Like, for example, he frequently tells me that I need to work harder and eat better, but behind the scenes, like, I know what that motherfucker eats, like Grandma Tren, McDonald's 5 times a day. Like, that's an exaggeration, but like not that far off. A lot of fast food and stuff. So it's like, how can you tell me to work harder when your physique is built off of drugs? But that, I guess I'm getting a little off topic here. But then there's other examples where, like, recently that guy, it's like Daddy Aioli or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where it's like, he fucking beat his cat years ago, and I didn't even, it resurfaced. The video was released like 2 years ago.
That was a super, super strange situation.
And then it's like, I guess it was viral a few years ago, and then like everyone just forgot about it. Like, I never heard about it, and I was like following him on Instagram, never knew that happened. So it just, that, a scenario like that, it's like, how did we forget about that? Like, people are just like, all right, whatever, you know what? Like, it's cool. We can move on, and I'm gonna be a fan of you again. So
that is exactly, that is the perfect example for just how quickly the internet forgets something. Like, it can be up there, everybody can know it. You can seemingly like get canceled even, and then come back and just continue to do things like it never happened.
Yeah, so a scenario like that, it would be good to, you know, maybe like hold people more accountable. But also at the end of the day, it's not something that I put too much energy into, because I can't do anything about where the attention goes, what people think. There's millions of people watching stuff on the internet, and they can have their own opinions and watch whoever they want. So it's so out of my hands that it's not something that really I think about frequently.
Yeah, no, that's a really good example. How has your partnership with Young LA been? You like the clothes?
I love the clothes. Young LA. I originally joined Young LA because they were, well, it's like an exciting company to be a part of, especially when you're a newer influencer. You see the text from Young LA and you're like, holy shit, Young LA.
Oh my gosh.
But now, like, I don't know. The clothes are, I have stayed working with them. To be honest, my experience with Young LA is not like amazing. Like, I've had other sponsors that treat me a lot better than Young LA, but I stay with Young LA because their product is genuine. I'm wearing only Young LA right now. Like, their clothes are the best clothes in fitness that I've worn, hence why I'm still with them. But
I agree.
They don't treat, I don't know how they treat their other athletes, but as far as like how I would expect to be treated in a sponsorship, they don't treat me as well as I would like to. So I've stopped promoting their clothes, but I'm still, you know, sponsored by them.
Gotcha. Very interesting. And if you had to partner with like a supplement company, do you have one that you would be interested in working with? Is there somebody that you use?
I would. What is it called? Gorilla Mode.
Gorilla Mind.
I tried a bunch of their products, and I was considering taking a sponsorship with them. But it conflicts with my Research M sponsorship because then, we sell stuff that's also for like getting a better pump in the gym, whether it be a research chemical or pre-workout. So I just didn't want to take any more sponsors that would potentially take away from Research M, because like Young LA doesn't conflict with that at all. But I like Research M so much that I could be offered a massive salary with a different company, and it's just like, I'm kind of loyal to Research M. I don't want to take away from that brand.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that makes plenty of sense. So you said that you are steering more away from becoming an IFBB pro, and is ultimately the physique building side of things, is that just becoming solely for content? And it seems like you're almost becoming a comedian. Online, you're pretty much just becoming a guy who just makes videos, and they're not even extremely high. What's the word? They're not edited. They're not super complicated. It's pretty much just you.
Just like turn on the camera and talk.
Exactly. And do you feel like that's just how you're gonna continue to be, or are you trying to pivot into something else now?
When I first started influencing, I was kind of just like navigating what I want to do, and I think a lot of people, because I was taking steroids, were expecting me to get my pro card. So I think I entertained that idea just because it's what people expected of me. But as I've done it more and more, to be honest, I don't even read my comments anymore. Like, just because I don't want people being able to influence like what is true to me, what I want to be doing with my career. So I am a comedian. I would consider myself to be a full-time comedian, and the steroids are just strictly cosmetic. I genuinely, like, I just love steroids. People know that. Like, when you're on steroids, I feel really good. Obviously, other people might have different experiences, but I feel like, Superman mixed with like a narcissistic Batman when I'm on Psycho. Like, it's really like, I just love what it does for me, and I like getting more jacked. Like, whether you're a bodybuilder or not, most people are going to want to walk around at like 230, 240 lean. Maybe not most people, but a lot of people. And that's something that I like, even though I'm not a bodybuilder. So I just am taking the steroids because it's a recreational drug that I enjoy, that also to a degree helps me build my brand, but I take it mostly because I love it. And then, steroids aside, I'm a comedian on YouTube. Gonna start streaming, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. So streaming is in the future. Okay.
Streaming is very soon, probably in the next like week.
That's kind of what I was hinting at. I was wondering if you were going to start like pivoting in that direction and trying to be entertaining on like live all the time. So
yeah, I'm completely pivoted out of the short form content. It's fun and easy to go viral with short form content, but I'm just like, I haven't posted on TikTok. I post on TikTok maybe once a month.
Yeah,
now.
I was thinking you got banned on there because you hadn't been posting it.
Nah, it just doesn't really, like, I'm just not super entertained by it anymore. So yeah, gonna be focusing on YouTube and streaming. I'm moving in with David Rao and Nate Udi in San Diego, and we're just gonna stream. I'm gonna mess with the Fousey 24-hour stream style just to like see if it's something that I can handle, because I know that it would be entertaining. I always have some stupid shit to say. I'm always doing some stupid shit. So I think it would be hilarious for people to watch that, but also just like if I can handle it mentally to be on camera 24/7. So we're going to try that. If it doesn't work out, we'll just stick with, gambling, Fortnite, going out, streaming, shorter stuff.
Gotcha. All right, San Diego. And your recent move was out of the frat house, correct? So you're not there anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
About 2 months ago. The frat was just too fucking, like...
It was too crazy?
It was just too unproductive. Like, I was trying so hard to stay productive, and to a certain degree, like, I've never been one. I'm always... If everyone's getting hammered and there's a party, I have no problem sitting in my room and working, but just the environment, like even clutter alone clouds your mind so much. And you guys have seen my videos of what the frat looked like. It was just unreal. And I'd be working, and then I have drunk people pounding on my door trying to hang out, and it's just like, I can't do this. I need to leave, even though it was good for content, like filming videos in the frat, and like just it's very relatable living in a frat, and a lot of people like to relate to me, but it was so fucking unproductive. I had to leave.
Gotcha. There you go. Okay, so not in the frat house anymore, and moving to San Diego to start streaming is the plan. San Diego's the best.
Yeah, I've only been a couple
so
times, but wonderful.
Oh my gosh, it's absolutely amazing. I try to go every single year. All right, well, I guess a couple of like deeper questions. Do you feel like when it comes to the philosophy or like religious side of things, do you think about that stuff a whole lot, or is right now most of your focus just on like social media, making money, all that type of stuff?
Yeah, I'm just focused on like I would like to develop my spiritual and yeah, like my spiritual what's the word I'm looking for, like education. But that's not something I've focused on enough. I would like to work on that a lot more, but right now I'm so obsessed with what I'm doing. I just don't even think about it. I don't think about religion at all. Which again, I would like to, but it's kind of just an afterthought right now. Like I would like to get to that, but I've not thought about it.
Okay. And as of right now, one of the things that I also wanted to do was kind of do a little bit more of a dive like into your past in terms of like, I know that you've posted before that you were going to college, that you were going to try to get like a business major or something like that. At one point you were doing classes, and then you pretty much switched everything up, decided to take this whole route. What have you done in the past as far as like jobs go? How has that evolved, and what are you doing right now to like make all of your money? Is that all off of YouTube revenue? Sponsorships?
I actually don't monetize my YouTube. I've not even tried to monetize my YouTube because
really?
I know that it's not going to get monetized. And
wow.
So when it comes to social media and like the pursuit of being successful in it, I am very superstitious. Not necessarily superstitious, but I have a lot of like.
You don't trust the social media platforms? Is that what you're saying?
I think there's more that goes into it that they don't tell you. For example, I think with YouTube, I have a feeling if I try and monetize my account, they're going to monitor it. They say they don't, but I have a feeling they're going to monitor it much more heavily and potentially cancel me, get me age restricted, because even getting age restricted ruins the exposure that you get. And there's just like a lot of things that in the guidelines, a lot of platforms say like, oh, it won't affect anything. But I really think every little thing plays a big role in your social media output. So I'm never going to try and monetize my YouTube.
Very interesting.
But to answer your question, I've had a really bizarre last 3 years. So
3 years ago was when you quit your trying to get your degree.
Maybe,
right?
Yeah, 3 years ago but 3 years ago I was 19 years old, pretty much dead broke. And I was like, you know what? College is always there. Like, I know that as a fact that I don't like going to school right now. And I know that, if I take a year to try and do something that I enjoy and it's not for me, I can just default go back to college. No problem. And that, I was blessed with that opportunity. Not everybody has that opportunity to like pick and choose, and like luckily my grandparents paid for my college, so beyond blessed for that opportunity. But either way, I was like, I don't want to do this. I hate it. I'm skipping all my classes. I'm not getting good grades because I'm spending all my time like educating myself on things like Bitcoin, trying to go more of an entrepreneurial route. So I drop out, 19 years old, and me and my buddies started the first business venture that I ever went on. I started cryptocurrency, and what we did was I don't know if you guys are, this fitness world's not super familiar with the technical side of cryptocurrency, but we would run and sell these machines called nodes, which are effectively the backbone for popular cryptocurrencies. Like Ethereum runs on nodes.
Interesting.
We ran them for Avalanche, which is a smaller cryptocurrency. So this business venture for me went amazing. Like dropped out all of a sudden. I have all this money. I'm buying like a bunch of watches, bunch of cars, tons of money,
Wow.
ton of drugs. Like it was like I was 19 and I thought I was fucking Bill Gates. Like I was making more money than I make now. Like
So you and your friends that were also like 19 years old,
me and one friend, he was also 19.
you and him started this whole thing.
We started this business, and basically what we did, it was because I had a good grasp on how cryptocurrency worked, just from a good enough grasp. And he was really good at, marketing. He's very, very, the way he speaks, he just can win anybody over.
Yeah.
Really good with his words. So the two of us combined were able to market this idea and go viral so fast that within...
So you were posting on social media?
Yeah, but it was Twitter and Discord. So, and we would do
Interesting.
if you look me up on YouTube, you'll find like old AMAs where we would be like in front of like, a bunch of crypto investors and talking about this shit. But basically what happened was like within a month, we like raised, well over $1 million for this project. We had a whole company, like developing for us. We were like, we had probably 20 employees, all ran by us, 19-year-olds. But here's the problem is that we were 19-year-olds that didn't know that, thought we were bigger than life, just completely arrogant. And basically I just completely ran the business into the ground from just being arrogant, not taking advice from people that were smarter than me. Like, fuck you. Like, I know what I'm doing. Just completely ran the business into the ground after about a year. 1 year, it was like higher than life. End of the year, I was $50,000 in debt. What the fuck just happened? It was fun. I learned a lot. But
that is insane.
So I'm now at this point, I'm like 19, about to turn 20. Maybe I just turned 20, and I'm $50,000 in debt. But luckily, I have now knowledge of, I'm working in the crypto space for that long.
So what was the business specifically making money off of? Was it mainly just like collecting investor money to be able to put out a product?
Yeah, so we would just be selling these nodes to people.
Wow.
And people would buy it, and then they make money off their nodes and whatever. But it was just a horrible... I don't even know why people would buy it, because we would tell people the business plan. This is how it works. And it was close to being a great idea, but there was just so many flaws that it was just because it was made by me, a 19-year-old. The whole fucking idea, concept was made by me. And it was just it just was a horrible fucking... And so
did you and your business partner, did you guys have a falling out, or?
No, we're still friends. We still do stuff, but both of us were just
So you went from making a company that was revenue wise, did you have numbers as far as that went?
Let me think about this. It didn't last long, but the first day, launch day, it was $2 million of sales.
That is insane.
It went very well until all of a sudden shit hit the fan hard. And it was a good lesson learned for sure. But so
then you had you had a bunch of cars, you said you had a bunch of watches.
I don't have any of it anymore. Like I said, I went into debt, but I had 8 Rolexes, shit ton of diamonds. I drove my BMW, whatever. Just traveling a bunch and stuff, all the while still running this business. And it was just so stupid. I was 19 years old.
And were you here in Bozeman during that, or were you in Boulder?
No, I was in Boulder.
You were in Boulder.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane. Okay, so you had all of that. You were $50,000 in debt. What did you do?
So I'm sitting there whatever, $50,000 in debt, literally nothing going for me. Pretty much a grade A loser, sitting there what the fuck just happened?
Did your parents know about all of this stuff going on?
Yeah,
I assume that
they're
did?
always very supportive of all my ventures, and they were really proud of me. And then I went broke, and I was like, "Holy fuck! Dad, can I borrow 20 grand? This is fucked."
That is so crazy.
But luckily, I had a pretty decent knowledge of cryptocurrency and the markets. from my year of doing all this, and I've been studying cryptocurrency since I was 18 years old. So like by the time I'm 20, it's been 2 years, and I'm been like balls deep in the crypto world. Like I know a lot more than what somebody would know just from like studying it.
Yeah.
So I'm $50,000 in debt. I have $13,000 in my bank account, and I'm just like, this is fucked. Like I need to pay off this debt. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I took this 13, and I was just like, fuck, here we go. We're gonna just YOLO this, try and trade this shit. We trade, and then I traded up, like paid off my debt.
Wait, so how much money did you start with?
13,000.
So you had 13,000, and you paid off $50,000 of debt.
Yeah, well, it turned 13,000 into like whatever. I was and a lot of luck involved. Like this was fucked. I haven't actually told this story, but this is fucked.
This is insane.
I'm sitting
can't
there.
Believe this. I'm hearing all of this for the first time, and I'm like, what in the world? How does this even work?
No, yeah, I'm sitting there like, this is fucked. I need to make this work. So I turned the 13,000 into like 150 grand, like in like literally like 2 months, just because I was so desperate that I was willing to make just retard plays. I was just like, holy fuck, I am fucked. This has to fucking work, or I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. So, you know, obviously really lucky, really degenerate, but thank God paid off all my debt, and now I have like whatever, like 100,000 that I can like play with.
Yeah.
And ever since I've just been like, as far as my revenue now, it's been, I probably make, it changes so much because like some months I just lose like a fuck ton of money trading crypto.
Did you lose a lot of money after your Instagram got deleted? Did you notice that like affect your sales
but I guess
and everything?
To the original point, I probably make 70% of my money from trading crypto.
Okay. 70%.
80% maybe. And then sales from sponsorships is my other
20.
stream of revenue, 20%. And then I have like a little bit of real estate that makes me like just a tiny bit of money.
Okay.
But yeah, once my Instagram deleted, my sales went down. Not that much actually. The cult is strong. Shout out you guys for fucking, pulling through. But what I'm trying to do the math in my head. I know the two numbers that I made month to month, but it was probably like 20% I lost.
Gotcha.
But which is fine. And also I stopped posting ads once my Instagram got taken down. Like it was YouTube, never plugged my code on my new account, never plugged maybe I plugged my code like on 2 stories throughout the month. Snapchat, never plugged my code. And the reason is because I think that a lot of like people that watch fitness content, I imagine every day they get told 100 times.
Yeah.
Code this, code
Use
that,
code.
buy this, buy that.
Yeah.
Like this is going to change your fucking life. This fucking Echo Vision beater, it's going to be amazing. So like, I just think that I make enough money from other places where I'm not going to try and shove my code down people's throat too hard, just because I'm here to entertain, not sell people shit. Like obviously making money is phenomenal, but I don't want it to take away from my brand. Like a good example is just Dylan O'Brien. You're friends with him, right? He had like a great cult following, huge following. People loved him. And I don't know exactly what happened, but it seems like he started like half of his content turned into ads is from what my analysis is from the outside. Maybe you know better than me. And he completely fell off. Nobody talks about O'Brien. Nobody watches O'Brien. And I just assume it's because people got sick of half of his shit being ads. I would stop watching somebody if it was all ads. So I just try and keep it like very conservative with what I put out there and mostly just focus on entertaining.
Interesting. Okay, so entertainment is just pretty much the pinnacle for you. That's pretty much your passion project is that. I mean, I don't understand why you would ever plug, like, you pretty much don't need a code or even sponsorships at that point if 80% of your income is coming from trading cryptocurrency. And does that fluctuate quite a bit with like how the market is going? Do some months do you lose? Do you end up in the net negative?
A lot of people think that I'm good at my job. Like I get a lot of DMs and texts and Snapchat swipe ups like, teach us how to trade crypto, this, that, and this. But I'm seriously not very good at it. And I think I could be really good at it if I put like a little more effort into it, but I'm not willing to give advice on it because some months I lose my entire sponsorship earnings and more.
Yeah.
And then multiple months in a row, I'll be rinsing like off like a lot of my money, and I'm negative. So it's nice to have the sponsorships. Like 20% of your income is still a significant stream of revenue, and obviously in the pursuit of financial freedom, you want as many streams of revenue as possible, because the goal is to have, 80% of my money comes from crypto trading, but also that's such a volatile thing that I'm not. Like, you take somebody that's actually like really perfected the craft, like Cousin Crypto, TJR, those guys are genuinely very good at what they do, so they can consistently rely on making money from that. But someone like me that's not, not an expert at it, I just make enough money to get by from it. It's not, I would like for it to be 20% of my income, like, or less. So yeah.
And do you think that it's fun? Like, do you enjoy crypto trading?
Yeah,
because in a way, like, let's be honest, like, it is very, very similar to like gambling.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. My favorite part about it is, because you guys know I like gambling. So the nice part about crypto is it's like I'm gambling right now. You guys just don't know it. I'm gonna check my phone after this, and it's like a dopamine hit because I'm gambling right now. I'm gambling 24/7. I can wake up at 4 a.m. and check my phone, and I'm gambling.
So you're like, your gambling addiction that you portray on YouTube, that's obviously you're putting on a little bit of a show, that's for sure. But that in reality is very much like a part of who you are, is like addicted to the thrill of losing and getting money.
Love gambling. At the end of the day, like, cryptocurrency trading is fucking, if you're not good at it, like, again, like I said, like Cousin Crypto, he's not gambling. He's good at it. I'm gambling. And I think I have a really good understanding of statistics and risk versus reward, so that I have such a good understanding of that principle that I can make really poor plays, but net overall it ends positive just because of the way I set my trades up, even though if it's a lot of it is on like meme coins or some stupid shit. So I mean, yeah, it's gambling at the end of the day, but that's why I like it, is because like you can turn 13 into 150 and get out of your debt, and you're like, whoo, all right, let's do it again.
That is so crazy. Does the finance side of things like stress you out regularly? Like, is the stress of finances something that inhabits like a large part of your mental space, or is it pretty much just like, let's get by, because you obviously don't have like all the cars anymore, the car payments, all the like the Rolex, like all this type of stuff. You're probably living pretty what's the word? Just you're probably not trashing a ton of money for your lifestyle.
A lot more modestly than I used to, mostly just because I learned my lesson, like blew all my money on stupid shit, and now it's like.
And did those things bring you the satisfaction that you thought that they were gonna bring you?
No.
When you did it,
the car is cool. Having a nice car.
Well, what car did you get?
An M4.
You got an M4.
Yeah. Driving a cool car when you're young is thrilling, and I'm going to buy a new car soon, just because I'm willing to spend a large portion of my money, or a larger portion than I'm, would like to spend on a cool car, because that was something that you drive a sick ass car, and I'm sure you fucking love that shit. Like, it's awesome.
I've never spent better money than when I bought my red eye.
Other thing, and then vacations are cool. Like, spending a shit ton of money on vacations, like, I'll cherish those memories forever. But things like watches, like jewelry, the worst money I've ever fucking spent. Like, no gratification out of that. Like, no satisfaction. So half of it, cars and vacations are cool. And I spent a lot of money on like buying my loved ones gifts, which is obviously I love that shit. So, half the money spent is great. The other half is like, holy fuck.
The whole point of the gambling in every video is to get your mom a Tesla.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, which is actually fucked, because I was going to buy my mom a Tesla a couple months ago, and I was like all ready to do it. And then we've never talked about a Tesla before. And like a couple weeks before I was going to buy it, she fucking calls me. She's like, guess what I bought?
No, and so she bought one?
A fucking Tesla.
No way.
God damn it, Mom. And I couldn't even tell her that I was going to get her one, because I didn't want but like empathy points. Like, I was totally going to get you one. So she has no idea I was going to do it. Which is brutal. Fucking brutal. But I mean, I'll probably just like take her on a nice vacation or something, which she would probably appreciate more than a Tesla.
Dang, there you go. Wow, that is so interesting. Okay, so the business went crazy. The business crashed hard. Then you just got into like more consistent trading. Now you're doing less risky trades.
Not less risky. I guess I'm just like either luckier or better at it. Time will tell. It's hard to say, but I guess you mentioned it's like, does this like really stress me out a lot? Because obviously like a lot of my income is fluctuating large percentages every month, and I think it's like I'm comfortable enough in my abilities that I don't think that I'm gonna go broke again. But also, if I do go broke, like I've been there, and I'm confident enough in my ability to just perform in all aspects of my life that I could lose everything today, and it's just like, all right, motherfuckers, let's get up and do it again.
Gotcha.
I have no problem starting from square one. Ideally, I don't, but you know, like it doesn't stress me out because it's like, if it happens, and we'll just do it again.
Gotcha. And so is building businesses in general, is that kind of out the window, or like corporations and hiring employees, and now it's just all brand focused?
No, I have a business that I'm starting. I can't talk about it right now, but you guys will know about it. It's associated with my brand to a certain degree. But that's been my, like, I've been working on that nonstop. That's all I've been working on. And that's actually how I got my fucking social security number. I was late to the podcast because this morning I had to fucking get my sign up for LifeLock. And what happened was, one of my employees, I was like, all right, well, we need an EIN number for this LLC.
Yeah.
And I was like, just go to the IRS website and do it. And he's like filling it out, and he like yells at me. He's like, yo, do we want to add like fraud protection for $300? And I was like, what do you mean? Like the IRS doesn't sell fraud protection. I was like, wait, let me see what you're doing. And he's fucking on a fake IRS website, gave him my social, gave him all my credit cards, gave him my address. And I'm like, bro, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
So
that is so brutal.
I'm not happy with him. But it, you know, shit
I can't
happens.
believe you showed up for the podcast.
I know. This morning I was just raging, and like last night I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do about this? And it's like, it's fucked. Like at the end of the day, it's not chill at all. Because if somebody does steal my identity, my whole life will be put on pause for a couple weeks, and it could probably cost me a lot of money. But it's just fingers crossed that shit doesn't hit the fan. And you know, it's not. Fuck, I really should knock on wood. But like, I've had my social security put out there, you know, multiple times. When I was like middle school, I think it was 8th grade, I had my parents just gave me my social for whatever reason. I don't know why the fuck they gave it to me when I was in 8th grade, but I had just discovered like the surveys for like iPhones websites and stuff, like all the scams on the internet. It's like, fill out this survey and get a free iPhone or like $100 Walmart gift card. I probably put my social security number into about 45 different surveys to get a fucking iPhone Walmart card. So like, it's out there for sure, but I've not gotten my identity stolen yet. But again, knock on fucking wood, because it would be really a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah, that would be absolutely brutal. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Okay, so right now you're spending most of your time every single day on this business that's associated with the brand that you're building that you can't talk about yet. And then how many hours a week do you usually spend trading crypto?
I do what they refer to as swing trading. So it's what that means is
day trading, isn't?
Yeah, so I've tried day trading, and I'm just like, I haven't committed enough hours to be good at it, because what do they say? 5% of day traders are profitable. Mm-hmm. And I've just not committed enough of my time to be actually good at it.
Is that actually the statistic that 5% are profitable?
Yeah, or maybe it's 5% of options traders.
Okay, dude, I absolutely hate this side of things. And I'm happy that you said that, because a lot of people, I think, when they hear you talk about the whole crypto thing, they'll immediately be like, oh, I need to start like day trading. But I swear, every single time, like I have a friend where finances get like rough, or they go through a period where they like don't really know what they want to do, have like some introspection time, always within like the next month, they're like, dude, I'm day trading now. And I'm just
it's like the most common, like all men go through a phase
of day trading.
Like, I'm gonna be a day trader. This is my fucking calling. And no, yeah, it's 5% are successful. So
5%. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's the biggest scam pretty much of all time, unless again you're fucking It's not a natural ability at being good at it. It's like putting
Analytics.
thousands of hours into studying your craft, and then you can not guaranteed, but you can assume, if you're not a fucking idiot, with 90% likelihood, if you study day trading for 10,000 hours, that you're going to be profitable. But it takes more time than a full-time job. Like, people think that's why the day trading.
They think that it's easy. They can just sit there and like,
yeah, exactly. Like,
I bought this Milo so high.
It's like, fuck Home Depot. I'm gonna just day trade because it takes an hour a day or whatever, and I make, because you see videos online of people. Then it's like, oh, day in the life of a day trader. Wake up, like, click a few buttons, make $700, go to bed again.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's not that straightforward. It's more time consuming than a 50-hour work week, 60-hour work week. It's more time consuming than that, for sure. So I just don't have time to, like, be good at it. And so what I do is swing trading, which is I hold a position for 2 weeks to 6 months, 2 weeks to a year, even.
And just wait till it's profitable.
And then I just wait, and then I have like a specific exit strategy for all positions, and then I rotate money into Bitcoin that when I make money, because I'm bullish on Bitcoin forever.
Yeah.
And just like, if Bitcoin goes to zero, I effectively go to zero, and then we're starting over.
Wow.
Which is a risk that I'm willing to take.
You keep pretty much all of your money in Bitcoin.
I have some real estate.
That's right. I remember you mentioning that.
For the most part, I'm all in on crypto, and it's a risk that I'm willing to take, just in the pursuit of financial freedom. But yeah, I probably spend 30 minutes a day doing it, just like kind of keeping up with the markets and learning. But like, once you open a position, you can kind of fuck off, and like, it's honestly better not to watch it too closely, because if you watch it really closely, then it's like, like, it's volatile, it gets fucking stressful. So it's just better to like kind of like fuck off, not worry about it, and then just check, like, maybe like every 2 days, check what it depends on how long the position is. If it's a 2-week position, you probably check it like 4 times a day realistically. But yeah, I don't check it too frequently.
Gotcha. Okay, and then you just like pull out whatever money you need for groceries.
Well, my grocery money, it's a blessing to have the sponsorships, because it used to be.
Oh, gotcha.
All of my money is day trading, or not day trading, swing trading. But now I can, buy my steroids, groceries, whatever I need, car payments with sponsorship money.
Gotcha. Okay. And what is the car that you're planning on trying to get in the future? Is this going to be once you move down to San Diego you're going to get it? Or
I have a few that I want to get. Like, as you guys know, I drive a Subaru right now, which is a total shitter, but I like my shitter. But I'm saving up. I have a feeling that if I buy like a mid-tier car, like, I wanted to get like a BMW. Okay. But I have a feeling I'm going to just get bored of it right away. So I'm just going to save up until I can buy a Lamborghini. Really? An Evo.
Really? You want to get a Lamborghini Evo, huh?
Just because.
Fascinating.
Don't get me wrong, I'm very far away from getting it. But the idea is that, in the next couple years, I have high expectations for what I have planned. And if I buy, like a mid-tier car, and then my money surpasses that car, it's going to be like, wow, did I even fucking buy this thing? I've drove it for 4 months, and now I'm buying a Lamborghini. So I'm just going to save. I'm going to drive a shitter until I just buy a Lamborghini. So
there you go, shitter to Lamborghini. That's gonna be quite the jump. My goodness. Okay, all right. So that pretty much sums up everything financially that you're doing right now. Are you still like partying quite a bit, like in your day-to-day life?
So a lot of people assume I drink frequently. Like, a lot of college students drink. Like, I've had comments, it's like, oh, like, I'm really trying to better myself, but I just drink twice a weekend because I'm in college, and that's what you do. Yeah. And or a lot of people drink Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's like the structure of partying. But what I tell people is, if you have time to get drunk 3 nights a week, which is probably intoxicated for, you're awake and intoxicated for probably 40 hours. Yeah. If you have time for that, you are doing something entirely wrong. So I realistically, I did my little benders, which was fucked, but like day-to-day life, I realistically drink like once every 3 weeks, mostly when I'm filming content. Gotcha. Or like hanging out. It's pretty much, I only get drunk if it's for content purposes at this point, because I'm too busy to be spending time getting drunk for fun and whatnot. Gotcha. So I do like gambling, I do like partying, but it's like for fun, I probably do it once every 3 weeks. Is like I'll be like, all right, whatever, turn the cameras off. Let's just fucking do some fun shit. Or occasionally I'll go on a vacation, like, you know, here and there. But for the most part, I don't have time.
Did your mom watch the Cabo video?
No,
or does she not watch your YouTube videos at all?
She watches some of them. I told her not to watch the Cabo one.
Oh,
She knows, like, she's like, should I watch your podcast? I was like, yeah, we'll see after we film it, and like see if it's something that you're gonna want to watch. So she just like asked me like, what should I watch? And it's like, yeah, I tell her. But she knows exactly what my life looks like because it's not like I'm at dinner like pretending that I don't fucking do steroids and don't like party and whatever, do drugs. So she knows what my life is like, and she does not condone. She's like, stop doing steroids. Like, obviously she's supportive of everything I do. And, you know, she knows that I have a very clear vision and I work really hard. But she also is my mother, and she's like, you know, cares for my well-being. So she's supportive, but like takes like little jabs at me. Like we were at dinner the other night. And
is she here in Bozeman, or
no?
She's still up in Boulder?
I flew back to Boulder to get my blood work done, and so we went out to dinner when I was there. And she was just like, because I'm not on steroids now, she was like, oh, like your face looks so much less fat. Like that's great. You should just like stay off the steroids. Oh yeah. But she's super supportive of everything that I do, and you know, it's like I have a really good relationship with my family, because that's one thing that's really important to me. Like people that, you know, my loved ones and my friends, like I always allocate a large chunk of my time and energy to like make sure I maintain these relationships. Like, you know, you guys call your mom, you know, a couple times a week just to check in, see how they're doing. So
yeah, I think that's really cool. I think that's something that doesn't like get highlighted in your content a whole lot. Is just like the fact that you do that. A lot of people, especially if they start getting money, obsessed with business, doing the social media side of things, they just kind of throw all of that right out the window, and doing the drugs and all that kind of stuff. It usually just pushes them further off the deep end. The parents don't approve at all, which kind of leads me to another question that I had is, were your parents strict on you growing up? Like, were they the type of people that told you couldn't do specific things? Were they on your ass? Were they helicopter parents, or were they pretty lenient? Because from what I've seen, like growing up in a Christian family and being in a Christian school, it's always like my parents were very lenient, thankfully. And I think that's one of the reasons why like I don't go crazy with things. Yeah. But my friends, like a lot of them, I watched them grow up in households where their parents were super strict on them, and they just like rebound right after they get
once you go to college.
100%. Like so many people that I know just go off on their own and go crazy.
Yeah, and I think like that's a lot of people struggle to find balance when they do go to college, because their parents were so strict, and they're like, holy shit, like I fucking love ripping the bong. Like now I'm just I can do it in my living room. So I think balance is really important. Obviously, in my social media, I show like the more fun side of my life, because that's what's like fun and entertaining. Again, like I'm an entertainer, comedian. But I spend a lot of time focusing on my health, working, and, you know, like balancing my life so I can be a happy, healthy, productive adult. But back to the question about my parents, it was pretty much anything goes. Like, obviously, they had like some rules in place, but they were really like, you know, kind of like urging me to just figure it out on my own. Like, if you can smoke weed, but you're gonna understand like it's making you fucking stupid, and you're gonna get shitty grades because of it. And like they would always tell me, it's like, it's your grades in your life. Like I remember when I was like 9th grade, that I was like really pissed at my parents. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get shitty grades, that'll piss them off. And they're like, listen, we don't give a fuck. Like, it's your fucking life. Figure it the fuck out, bud, or it's gonna be shitty. You're just making shit harder for yourself. So I think that was obviously their strategy like has crafted a decently functional adult, as functional as I could ask for.
Well, that's great, because I can't imagine if they had been strict where you would be as of right now, because like you would have been completely off the map. You probably wouldn't have had any lick of discipline when it comes to like the social media side of things. Like you see people that grow up like that, they just decide to pretty much do that stuff 24/7. Like they don't have the underlying discipline or the work ethic at all.
Yeah, which is different. Like the idea of me trying to parent someone is very fucking difficult because I don't know like where that balance is. Because obviously I don't want my kid like doing drugs, but I don't want to like have them go to college and just go fucking nuts. So I don't know. It's something I think about more frequently than I probably should as a 20-year-old, but I'm like always having crises.
It's the high estrogen.
The estrogen in me. Yeah, when my estrogen is high, I'm just like sitting like, holy shit, how am I gonna raise a family? I'll figure it out.
There you go. Interesting. Okay, so the parents are somewhat supportive. They were pretty lenient when you were growing up in your younger years. When it comes to just like what you've got going on over the next couple months, are you planning on moving to San Diego like very, very soon, or is that a 6 month to a year thing?
Probably in about a month and a half, 2 months. I'm gonna run.
Okay.
I still have a place here because that's where I'm gonna run my business out of.
Gotcha.
And then create content in San Diego. So I'll be back and forth. I'll be at both.
Okay, gotcha. And this is the last question I think that I've got for you. Mm-hmm. Could you walk me through your like gym situation here in Bozeman? Like, were you kicked out of like Fuel Fitness, or because we talked about this? It seemed like you got kicked out and then you were like let back in, and now you're like kicked out again, or
something. I was like not wearing a shirt in the gym, and obviously they're really strict about it,
which is weird because most of the gyms aren't like that. Like even the Ridge, like I'll take my shirt
decent,
off.
Yeah, especially in like that blue room. It's like cool. But either way, I took my shirt off, and originally they issued me a warning. They emailed me a warning, and they were like, "Hey, like stop doing that." But then the manager found my Instagram, and it was like, "This guy takes his shirt off all the fucking time." So they just banned me without. Like, they never emailed me, never anything. I just tried to go one day, and it was, like, banned. And I called the manager. He's like, oh, yeah, like, I saw your Instagram. Like, you can't. You're banned. And so basically...
He found the video of you, like, raging, trying to get the shit out of your locker at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning.
That was so fucking annoying. But then I called the owner, and the owner, like, apparently, like... I don't want bad blood with the manager, but apparently the manager.
He's probably watching this.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't watch this. But apparently the manager like just doesn't like me, and he was telling the owner that I was like cussing out employees, like being a total dick. Which I'm always like when there's an employee, like they're all college students. Like I'm super respectful. They're like, hey, can you put your shirt on? It's like, yeah, 100%, like no problem. But he was like telling the owner that I was like cussing people out. So I called the owner, and he was like, at first I called the owner, he's like bitching me out hard, like really digging in, like yelling at me about everything.
You cared enough to call the owner?
Well, because I like the gym, and
that's
like,
interesting.
So I called the owner. I was like, "Hey, like, listen, like, I can promise you, I'm not cussing out your employees. Like, go ask them." And I like gave him. I basically begged him. I was like, "Can I please, like, just let me back at your gym, and I'll fucking wear a shirt." Like,
you don't like Access that much, huh?
It's just like the fucking lighting in Access is not good. The equipment is always broken. It smells weird. It's a good vibe, and the people at Access are awesome. But the actual like filming in Access is very difficult for me.
I experience that every day. So,
but it's nice lighting for posing in the back room. But other than that, I just like can't stand it. So I basically just begged the owner to let me back, and he was like, "Yeah, you seem like a nice kid. Like, we'll let you back." But I haven't gotten there in a couple months just because I'm not filming.
Okay, so you still can go.
I can go.
Okay.
I just
because somebody told me that they kept seeing you at the Ridge, and I was like, no way. I'm like, it's not him, dude. There's no way he's working out at the Ridge.
I've been doing downtown Ridge and the main Ridge recently just because I'm not filming, and it's just like it's just nicer there. At the end of the day, I enjoy working out there a lot more than Fuel or Access, just because the equipment's nicer. And
interesting.
Just a better kept place. So when I'm filming, I'm gonna go back to Access and Fuel, but like right now, just whatever the Ridge.
Gotcha. There you go.
I went to Planet Fitness 2 days ago, and it's like decent. There's not enough like there's no hack squat, obviously there's no free weights, so I actually had to leave halfway through my workout to go to Access. But Planet Fitness, like it's it's Planet Fitness, what it's like at Planet Fitness.
Mm-hmm. Free tanning though, that's what I've heard.
Oh, I've not tried that. I'm never tanning again. I'm not taking Melanotan. I'm not getting a tanning bed. I'm just happy with my fucking skin the way it is. Like
there you go.
It just looks better when I'm my natural color. I don't need to force it.
It only took one mishap to
lesson fucking learned.
Yeah, lesson is learned. Did your mom see you at all when you were like that?
No, she saw me when I was recovered a little bit, like a few days after Miami, like I was surviving. I did not share the pictures of me when I think that would have stressed her out. It was like, yeah, check this out, mom. And I'm just like dying, like purple lips. Like, so I kind of just let that be.
That's hilarious. Okay. There you go. Well, I'm out of questions. I don't have too much more to discuss on this unless there's anything specific you wanted to bring up.
No, I think we covered a lot of shit there. I think that was good. I got nothing.
Plug the new Instagram.
Oh yeah, it's Stouffer __. So instead of
gotcha.
1 underscore, there's now 2 underscores. But I honestly don't post too much on there. Like if you want to see more of me, Snapchat and YouTube, just Shane Stouffer. So
There you go. Awesome. Sweet. Well, we'll go and end it there. Thanks for watching. Everybody make sure to drop a like on this video. Drop a comment down below. Let us know if you want to see another one before Shane heads off to San Diego. That would be cool. But other than that, this was the Natty and Not podcast, and I will see you guys all in the next video.
cheers. Thank you.
Peace. Thanks for coming.